Hi there, Tracy from Kazadans Equestrian. Welcome to this week's video where I'm going to have a go at answering that question that we kind of all ask ourselves at some point. Does my horse really love me? I think we'd all like to think that our horses love us as much as we do them. But the truth of the matter is, this is a really tricky thing to assess. In fact, even describing love as an emotion between humans is extremely difficult, let alone taking that across species and trying to work out what that word or what that emotional feeling is to a horse. There are actually not even any studies or behavioural studies around the idea of whether or not horses love each other. So what do we know? We do know that horses form a bond or attraction to a particular person. They do show a preference to be around or near a particular person. They also at times show different behaviours when they're around their person. The thing is though, this could also be really easily explained by the fact that this person is easily recognisable, spends the most time with them and feeds them. One of the most interesting recent studies has actually shown us that horses, however, can read human emotion to some extent. So what this study did was to actually show horses photographs of people with either angry or happy, so positive or negative expressions. What they actually found in this study is that when they were shown a photograph of a human showing angry or negative facial expressions, the horse's heart rate increased quite quickly, quicker than compared to being shown a positive or happy face. They also showed more stress-like behaviour when shown a negative or angry emotive face. Another interesting thing from the study is that when shown these photographs of negative human emotions, horses tended to look at them more with their left eye. The reason this is important is because the information that comes in from the left eye is processed on the right side of the brain, and the right side of the brain is where they make a decision regarding fight, flight, or process any information that could be a threat to them. We know that horses are really social creatures, and those social interactions between each other is incredibly important to the horse. But the interesting thing is them being able to do this across species. At this stage, there's really no way for us to tell, is this something that a horse learns as an individual throughout its life, or is this something of a sort of genetic adaptable kind of behaviour that is being handed down and has evolved through the process of domestication? It also appears that horses can recognise voices and match a voice to the correct person. So you, as the owner and the preferred person to the horse, will get a bigger and quicker response to your voice than they will show to a stranger. The other super interesting thing is that this occurred more in mares than geldings. So maybe it's not just us humans that experience sex-based selective hearing. So back to the original question. We're making great strides in actually working out how a horse uses its brain and how it learns and its cognitive functions. Hopefully, this is going to lead us to the position where we understand more about their emotions as well. But in all of this, I think one of the most important things to remember is a horse's world is so very different to ours in terms of their perception and priorities. So what is important to them is very different than what is important to us. we need to remember that the context of information going into a horse will be quite different than it is for us. If we don't respect the differences of this perspective, we tend to anthropomorphize. So we tend to then assign human traits to the horse. If we do this too much, the danger is we start making poor decisions around how to manage our horse, how to even train our horse based on our own emotions and our perception of the world. So, to answer, does my horse love me? I don't know. I know how much I love my horse because I understand my own feelings, and I also know that I like to create positive experiences and a bond between myself and my horses. I know that my horses are much more comfortable spending time around me than other people. I know that if I call my horse's name out, they tend to come to me. And if I call my daughter's horse's name out, they don't so much. So whether the bond between horses and humans can be explained in the term of love is really questionable. But at the same time, does it even really matter? Thanks for listening. I enjoyed reading up about this topic and I really hope you enjoyed listening to it. If you did, please feel free to share it around so lots of people get to see it. Also subscribe to my channel so you get notified of my weekly releases, and click the like button, comment away, and I will see you next week.